Well, hello there everyone, it is Nythe and I am back with Minecraft with Nythe, and this is a new world which is going to be my forever world. Unfortunately, the previous world got corrupted and I'm having to start again, but not to worry, I found this really incredible seed spawned in this tree and we got started by punching the wood and then making our crafting table, our pickaxe, and placing the crafting table on the spawn spot so that I knew where that tree once stood, because we're going to do something a little bit nice there. We then moved to upgrading our tools so that we could start getting the more stone and getting swords and all of that sort of stuff. So for the first day or so, I started gathering some of the materials that I would need in order to do this. And yes, we did end up killing some sheep as well. Sorry, sheep. We needed the food and also the wool so that we could sleep the night away. This is a nice relaxed little sort of session, and not like the 100-day challenge where really we need to continue doing a load of stuff throughout the night. We can just sleep the night away. I decided that for each like little area that we go to, I'm going to set up these little campsite type things. I just thought it'd be nice and cute with the campfire, bit of gravel around the fire pit, a bed, and the crafting table, and various other tool stations that I might need throughout the time. And we just terraformed this area up a little bit just to make it look nice. There, we've added a few bits of stone. I put a stone piece over on where the spawn area was so that we had that looking good as well. I then remembered to put a bit of gravel underneath that bed, even though you probably can't see it now because of the chest. And yes, we are getting there. I then found this sunken ship and decided to loot that to hopefully get some iron and things, which we did find. And we also found that good old treasure map and decided to go exploring that. Before we did that though, we put that mutton that we've got onto the campfire to get that cooked up nicely. And then we slept the night before we went on our journey to find that treasure map, sailing along the ocean here, along the cliff edge, really, and doing that. And we found that treasure relatively easily. No diamonds in it though, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer, but we did get a lot of iron, which is nice for us there. And then we found this ruined portal, checked the chest, and there was a lodestone in there, which is nice because that means we can start using those relatively easily. I then went and got this jungle wood because I thought it'd be nice just to get some of the saplings earlier on in the session. So we got some saplings of jungle wood and also of acacia, which is going to go nicely for that. We did sleep out and about in this area, and then we found some sugarcane and bamboo and planted them when we got back to our base. I then found this ruined, drowned city or village or whatever it is that you like to call them. Found some coal, killed our first monster, which was this drowned guy, and it went very slowly. Too many hits to kill him, and we got the first achievement there for the monster hunter. And then we found another treasure map and decided to go exploring for that. We then got bamboozled by these drowned and basically overran, but they're no match for me and my stone sword here, and we've eventually got rid of them nicely here. Just taking a bit of time to do that, really. Come on, bye. There we go. And this one decided to sit in our boat, and yep, we took care of him. We went searching for that other treasure, and we found diamonds, which is nice. We found some lovely diamonds in there, which is going to get us set up nicely. It means we can go and get some obsidian and get some stuff going. I've not yet to go in a mine, and I did set up this little campsite near where there was some spruce to get some spruce saplings so that we had a good start to this. And we found another sunken ship which had a treasure map in, and we went and found that treasure too. No more diamonds this time, unfortunately, but we did find some more iron, which is good. We eventually got some full armor so we could get going. And then I decided that I was going to grow some of these trees and cut them down so we can get some wood. And of course, I missed this one block, which meant that I had to go all the way up there and come all the way back down in order to get that. I then figured out what I wanted to do for storage, and that was create these little sort of platform type things where we could store the various different stuff. So I made one for all of the wood types, and it's just a cute little sort of like pallet thing nearby where I'm going to be building a dock. And I also use the mini blocks data pack in order to create some mini blocks to signify which woods are in which barrel. It's just a very early stage storage solution, really, before we get all complicated and things like that. Just so that when we're chopping the wood, we can get some stuff down. And then I put a little stone cutter here, even though it doesn't cut wood, even though it would be perfect to cut wood. And Mojang, please add that. And then added a little cute lantern here so that we've got some little lighting areas up. I then made one for stone and things and dirt and that sort of stuff. And then I started doing a bit of terraforming just to make the area just to look a little bit neater, ready in time for us to start building our start time. I chopped more wood down. So I was just going through the process of putting stuff down, putting dirt down, and then chopping wood and that sort of stuff just to get us going. I then made this little pathway to where the dock would be, which is looking nice, and just used the materials that we had initially, which was the jungle planks and the jungle logs, which were stripped in order to make that look nice. Created this cute little step down to where the dock would be, and it kind of just signifies where we're going to be going. And then I made this little staircase to take us right down to the depths of the dock area, and used these jungle logs to create a nice little sort of armway to stop us from potentially falling off. I might come in with some fences at some point and add them on there. We continue down doing the dock and sort of brought this little planks out in order to do that. And this is also going to be where I'm going to be doing my sugarcane farm so that we can get some sugarcane going nicely here, because we're going to need that for books and stuff eventually. I am going to need to look for cows as well, so that we can start getting books and things and stuff. And yeah, we just made a cute little dock area, just really a basic one just to get us started. This is going to be the little starter area. Oh, it looks like we've got some neighbors going along here. Let's go and say hello. Greetings. How might I be of assistance? Going to try and get them to kill themselves. And there we go. Whoa, okay. That nearly destroyed my shield. They've returned rather quickly. Clearly the head on the spike didn't work, so therefore I've got to deal with these guys. I've been terraforming this little area here as the trees have been growing and stuff, and just kind of making it look a little bit nicer. It's a bit of a work in progress at the moment. I'm just having a bit of practice. I wanted to use some of the slabs and everything to kind of create a more gradual drop in here. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that necessarily with dirt and stuff like that, but I'm just trying to figure this out, seeing how we could maybe do this, and it kind of just comes in a little bit more sort of rounded on this side. I've also done a more sheer area here, which is looking good, and I am getting wood very slowly but surely. I've got some more jungle logs and things, but I suppose it's time to start figuring out what we're going to be doing food wise, because I've got one bit of salmon left and some cooked cod left, but we're going to need to go and deal with that. I have also been harvesting the sugarcane, so we're going to need to find some cows. So I think the next part of this, I'm going to make a little pen, I'm going to find some cows, and we're going to start breeding them up, and then I'm going to make a little field of wheat as well. There's another one. That's 3. Oh my god, they're here. Where's the other one? Where's the banner person? This is like Pirates Bay or something. This is crazy. There was another one. Where's the other guy? I'm sure there's another one around somewhere because that guy wasn't a banner person. Oh dear. But I am currently in the middle of creating a little waterway type thing down here. I've done like a little brook thing. It's going to feed in from what will be a water thing there, and then I might actually bring up water all the way from the top of the hill up there, so there's a bit of a story to it. And there's going to be a larger one that goes along here, but obviously with the tools that I've got at the moment, it is a bit slow going, so I think I'm just going to focus mostly on this area here and sort of like turn this into a crop sort of field. I'm going to make this actually probably a bit of a retaining wall, just so that it looks nice and everything. I think that will look fine. I don't need to get too much for now. I did find some pigs, so that's going to be useful for that. But I'm going to get the water in, I think. I've just come in with gravel, really, just to sort of start it off. I'm going to plop that off there. So I'm going to get a water bucket, and then let's see how that goes. So let's just go and get some water and put it here, which should, in theory, go all the way down into there, which is perfect. That's just what I wanted it to do. And then that'll feed into there, so that's good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side being the wheat for now, and then we can do some carrots on the other side, because I did get some carrots from the shipwreck. I finished the farm by planting some carrots and then also adding some plank slabs in order to get access to the higher levels of the farm. I then moved on to doing the pens for the pigs and the cows. Went and found some pigs and brought them home, and accidentally misplaced this darn fence gate. Once the pigs and everything was settled in, I found cows and brought them home. Struggled to get them in, clearly. Trying to get them in, had to do this ingenious move. There we go. And then I decided to do a little bit of fishing, and just fished for a little bit whilst it was raining to get some loot, and also build up my fish stock so that I could have at least something to eat whilst I was waiting for everything else to go. I then found this. Ooh, we got a book. Knockback 2. Nice. Our first bit of loot on this fishing expedition. And then I found a saddle. Well, a bowl first, and then a saddle. And then we got attacked again. This was like the 4th attack. I don't know where these guys are coming from. I might have to go and investigate these guys. But this time my shield broke, and I was in panic mode because I thought I was going to suffer my first death. And luckily I managed to escape to the water. This guy decided to come and join me in the water, but unfortunately that resulted in his demise. And then I got a crossbow for my troubles. And then this was the final guy, which, yeah, he died too. I then was breeding all of the animals up so that I could get them going and get loads of leather and stuff like that. And then I went on an adventure, found some oak wood, found a pale garden, got caught up in the night at the Pale Garden. Trust me, those places are scary at night. You've got not only the creaking, but then little zombies and skeletons and all sorts of that come out. Again, I thought I was going to reach my demise here as well. Luckily, I didn't. I survived, but I kept on having to run onto the treetops in order to stop myself from succumbing to the creakings. And yeah, This was actually really quite scary. I got some pale moss as well, which I didn't show in this footage for some reason. But I did destroy a couple of creaking hearts, and I made sure that I got enough resin so that I did not have to keep coming back to a pale garden during the night just to get resin. I can now make enough creaking hearts so that I can do that, which is fantastic. Here I am, risking life and limb for your entertainment on this game, why don't you go and hit that like button and subscribe if you are enjoying this video, because I am surely going to be making more content just like this one. And then this skeleton nearly killed me as well, which I was not happy with. I did not want to die to a skeleton on the, as my first death either. I then found this cherry blossom biome, which is actually on a really nice little island thing. So I think we're going to come back and do something here at some point. And then I decided to get a sheep and start breeding sheep. I then wanted to get that final wood type, found this desert where I got some cactus, and then we found the mangrove wood, which is nice. Got some propagules, and here's some ASMR. Because I decided that I needed to get some mud, a couple of stacks of that, so that I could use that later on down the line. This marks the last of the wood types, and we've got the mangrove, well, the overworld wood type, should we say. And we've got the mangrove, and that can go nicely on here, like this, into there, and we got those lovely propagules. I'm going to just pop one in there, so I've at least got one safe. And I'm going to go and dot these around. I'm going to go and tidy up this area a little bit, do a bit of wood collecting and everything, so that we've got that all going. But we are getting really good with what we've got here after going on our little adventures and everything. It does mean that at some point we will need to go into the Nether, and we are waiting for the Nether. We are going to be waiting for the Nether. The Nether is going to grant us access to the Netherwood types, as well as the Happy Ghast. The axe slipped a few times, and the sword too. And then I found this. Oh, I found a pink sheep. You are going to come back with me, I think. No. I had some boating troubles trying to get it into the boat. Ran into a trident. That sort of thing. Oh, that's my first death. Oh. So I went and gathered up all of my things that were now floating in the ocean, reclaimed the chicken that I was actually transporting at the time, and brought that safely back. The darn thing wouldn't go in the path that I wanted it. It ended up in this in the water, so I had to try and get it to pathfind correctly and everything. And then eventually I managed to get 2 chickens in a pen. But now it was time for me to consider my starter house. For this next part, what I'm going to need is some andesite, and I think it's time that we finally went into a mine. And that is going to be, I think, a good spot to go will be up over on this hill. Maybe down into there could be the mine entrance? Question mark. We could maybe take away some of these trees and sort of have the mine entrance be over here. I just think that would look quite nice. And maybe come along and take care of this area. Let's go along here and make sure that we don't get attacked by any creepers. I think this would be a nice little sort of mine entrance. Got some twisty turns, and there's some andesite, which is fantastic, which is just what we need. Gonna go and just light this area up a bit, because as I said, the last thing that we would like is for a creeper to... Oh, hello, emerald ore. It's for one of those guys. Come along and ruin our day. Jeez. Okay. Right. Let's eat. And go and... Oh, hello. I saw that creeper. Just, you know, itching away there. Hello. Hello, little guy. Hello. That's Y85. This is perfect. Oh, yes. This was a good find, this was. It's completely enclosed. Look at that string. Golden apple, not an enchanted one. Cat. We've got some bones, which is nice. Another golden apple. We're going to take them at least for now. Okay. That is a good find. Quite early on. Would have been better if it was a skeleton spawner, but I will go with a zombie spawner as well. If that's the case. Like, that was really good. So, I guess we know what we're going to be doing in the next episode at least. Right, where does this go out to? Okay, just over here. So we could, in theory, do sort of like an enchantment area up here. That is good. I might just leave a noob pillar over here so I can find this entrance again. Good old 2012 Minecraft, that is. Okay, let's go back into this area now. Well, at least we've got what we're going to be doing in the next episode all sorted out. That looks dangerous. Let's grab all of this andesite then, and we will be good to go. It's time to build, and I have the perfect idea for this sort of area, as well as the general aesthetic that I would like to go for. So, with that in mind, let's begin the starter house. Of course, after it's down to daytime, because I don't fancy building during the night. So we'll just wait for a moment to go to bed. Yep, just waiting here. Just waiting. After I'd done the terraforming, I actually had an interesting idea about what I wanted to do for the starter house. And what I decided to do was build it up on stilts. And then sort of, it's a very simple starter house. It just looks a bit complicated, I think. And I just went with a sort of a boxy shape for it. But I put it on these stilts and it kind of blends in nicely with the terraforming that I'd already done. And I decided to just use simply andesite and other stony materials, early materials that you can find, but I used the texturing and things like that in order to do that. So I started with the pale oak logs as the stilts, and then I moved on to doing andesite and a pale oak floor as the walls and the floor. And then I gradually moved up to using pale oak as the sort of wood finish for the second level of the house. And then I used jungle wood and cobblestone for the actual roof. And I actually really like this combination. I wasn't sure how this combination would work, but it turns out that it actually works quite well. And I think it's a very... Well, you'll hear what I'll say about it when I do a little bit of a tour. If you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel to be notified as to when I post videos. I am looking to do more videos like this and I really do have a lot of fun making them. Also, leave a comment down below to tell me what you think and also what you think of the new update. Editor's note, at the time of this editing, it has come to my attention that there is going to be a hotfix for 1.21.6, meaning there's going to be a new release of 1.21.7, which will mean that while this was recorded with 1.21.6, future episodes will be 1.21.7. Look what I've done. I have built the starter house, and I have to say, this has to be one of my favorite starter houses I've ever built. There's still just a little bit of stuff that I need to do. Like I'm going to do a bit more decoration, maybe hang a few more lanterns and things like that. But let me show you around. So we got the stairway that takes you up into here. We've got a little kitchen area where we've got a smoker, which also will empty the food into this barrel. We've got a couple of barrels here for storage. We've got a crafting table here, which can also be reached from the upper floor as well. We've got this little seating area here. I do need to get a few little knickknacks. For example, I want to put some flower pots in or something or other, and we just don't have that much stuff at the moment. This piece of bark was accidentally stripped, and yes, we are looking nice. We've got these pale oak floors, and if we come up to the next level here, we got this lovely painting. We did put a painting down here, and also this rose painting in the kitchen over there. We've got a little balcony here and a little sort of flight deck, and we've got this sort of archway here and maybe a sort of tether point for something. I wonder what could go there. And we've got a crafting table here just purely because it might be handy to make something that we might need to equip to a certain thing. And we have got some storage over here as well. And yes, we've gone for this sort of rustic-y type aesthetic. And then up to the top, we've got some plant life in here. We've got a chest. We've got a bed. And we got another painting, one of the new ones there as well. For a starter house, I have to say, I really do like how this has turned out. And I love the fact that I managed to incorporate this sort of stilt type aesthetic here, and it looks quirky. It doesn't look out of place. There's a nice shape to it, and there's some good decent texture to it as well. And I love the transition between the stone and the pale oak. And yes, I think it looks lovely. And there. And then down here, we've got a bit of a pool area here. And that is what I am going to do next in this episode. We are going to go to that nether portal that we saw all the way over there, venture into the nether and find a happy ghast, or at least a dried ghast, and then we're going to figure it out and all of that sort of stuff. So before we do that, we need to get geared up because this isn't going to quite cut it. I've only got 6 iron ingots to my name now because I decided to use them for decoration because, you know, priorities and everything. So we're going to go and maybe just get a bit more iron, which should be okay for that. Did we get any gold? We are going to need some gold. Oh, we got 6 gold, so we can make some little boots for us there. We do have another iron. Oh, no, there's 21 iron in here. Okay, I'm going to quickly go and make a load more tools, and we're going to go into iron mode now. I'm going to keep that iron pickaxe there. That is my first iron pickaxe, by the way. I've literally been doing all of this with stone tools, so now we've got some good stuff going. I'm going to need more obsidian, which means to make a diamond pick, which seems crazy to think I've made a diamond pick pretty much seconds after making a iron pick, but hey oh, it is what it is. But I am really liking how that has turned out. I can't wait to see that in shaders. I'm gonna have to go back to the base anyway because I forgot to bring a flint and steel with me. It's just a smash and grab. Smash and grab for this. There we go. Now it's worked. Oh dear. There we go. Okay. Now I just need to find... Look! Soul sand! No! I didn't even look at the Enderman. That's the thing. That was where I was wrong. It turns out when I saw the Soul Sand Valley, this happened. Rory from KarotKraft happened to notice this because I was streaming it over on our Discord server and checking that out. And yes, they let me know that, in fact, I had looked at this Enderman in the eyes when I was exclaiming that I saw soul sand. Okay, these guys aren't as rare as, like, there's another one there. Right, okay, let's go put these guys over into here. Now, I am hoping, there we go. Oh, are you cute? And then I think I'll block that guy there. There we go. Yay! Yellow harnesses. Yay! Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Look at how cute it is. Look at the balloon. Happy Ghast do 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 do. Happy Ghast do 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 do. Happy Ghast do 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 do. Look at how adorable it is. I wish they could just stay this size. I'm just worried that they're going to grow and then end up suffocating inside that thing. Look at them. What I've got to figure out is some names for them. So in the chat, guys, let me know what you think we should call these two guys. I'm thinking Bonnie and Clyde, but we can certainly name them in the next episode. So definitely go down into the chat and think of a name. 5, 4, 3, 2. There we are. Oh, look at you. Nice. Let's okay, we've got our Happy Ghast. Don't you fly off too soon. Come on. Back you come. There we go. Oh. Perfect. No, don't go. Don't fly away. I need you. I need you here. Come here. There we go. We are flying on a Happy Ghast. Oh, wow. Yes. Woohoo. Look at me go. Let's get a tether. Oh, this is amazing. Early game flight. About having to use an elytra. I want to get... Oh, I want to get you. No, come on. Oh, the lemon leads are down there. Right, there we go. We got that lead. Want to get this other lead, and then we can do some real good flying around here. And we're off. Look at this. We are on a Happy Ghast, and I tell you what, I was told that they're quite slow, and actually I think this is quite quick. I think the person who was doing it was used to just flying in creative really quickly, but this I absolutely love, and I can't wait to go on adventures. But this is all I've got time for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is the first episode of our 1.21.6 adventure forever world thing. So if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as well as subscribe to the channel to be notified as to when I post videos. Also leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I really enjoyed making this video and exploring some of the new 1.21.6 features. And remember to let me know what you think we should call these Happy Ghasts. What I'll say is, until next time, I'll see you later. Ow, that was my head. Bye. I can show you the world, wondering something splendor. On a Happy Ghast, a whole new world, shining brightly as we can see. I don't know the words to the song, so I'm just making this up as I go along. A whole new world.